What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Lawrence, over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and you guys know what today is. It is time for the Hot 10 Comics of the Week breakdown. If you're new to my channel, what I do in this video every Thursday is I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down for you, let you know which books I'm buying and which I'm selling, and of course, which the ones I'm staying away from. Now, with that out of the way, I ask you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, you're missing out. Hit that sub button for yourself and do me a solid. Smash that like button for me. One other thing, if you haven't checked out my podcast, the Mighty Rewind Podcast, it airs every week, hopefully, right here on the channel and on its own channel. With that out of the way, let's get into this week's breakdown. Oh baby, starting it off at number 10 is Predator number 1, the first appearance of the Predator in a standard comic book. A total of 8 copies broke the average this week, with 3 and a 9.8, and the high being $510 and up 18% over the average. As Predator Badlands is set to hit theaters November 7th of 2025, the Predator lands on the Hot 10 for the third time in 2025. As I have said before, do I want to own this book? If I can get it for cheap, I'm talking about under $100 for a nice, really nice raw copy, I'd be a buyer. Other than that, I do not want to spend this kind of money on this book. Now, here's a book we don't see all the time. At number 9 this week is Avengers number 57, the first appearance of Vision and also the second appearance of Ultron. 5 sales beat the average this week with a high in a CGC 8.5, selling for $900, but get this, up 35% over the average. Next up, a CGC 7.5 sale for $440, up 3% over the average. And finally, a CGC 6.0 selling for $325, up 12% over the average. This is the second time in 2025 that Vision makes the Hot 10 list. So second time this year, not too bad. I'm a big advocate of this book because it's so cheap, in my opinion, and high grade, very fine range, under $500. So to me, as I say with other books, $500 max on the highest grade you can get. But yes, 100%, I am a buyer. Coming in at number 8 this week is a mainstay on this list. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 300 and the first full appearance of Venom. This is also an iconic cover by Todd McFarlane. A crazy 14 copies broke the average this week, and 5 and a 9.4. That was the high. The high sale, $699, but up 20% over the average. Man, that's a lot. This marks the 21st week out of 37 that Amazing Spider-Man 300 has made the Hot 10 list. I can't believe someone would be 20% above average for this book in a 9.4. I think that's way too much money to spend. I say it all the time. 9.8 is too much money. I'd rather just get a 9.2, possibly even a 9.4 signed by Todd, but it's got to be around what it's worth. Other than that, get yourself a nice raw copy. More Copper Age at number 7 this week is Incredible Hulk number 340 and this classic cover by the Todd Father. 12 sales beat the average this week with a high in a CGC 9.8, selling for a cool $1,079 and up 6% over the average. Next up, we had a CGC 9.6 sale for $450, up 17% over the average. Hulk 340 makes the list for the 7th time in 2025. I think a 9.8 for this book is just way too much money. $1,000 for this one. It's a classic cover. It's a beauty, but I don't want to spend this kind of money on this book. I'd rather get a 9.2, 9.4 raw copy just to add it to the collection. Rounding out the 6th spot is another Copper Age key. It is Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 8 and the origin of the Black Symbiote costume, one of my favorite books of all time. This is also the second appearance of Spider-Woman Julia Carpenter. 16 sales beat the average this week. That is insane, with a high in a CGC 9.8, selling for only $510 and up 7% over the average. Secret Wars 8 hits the list for an incredible 12th time in 2025. Just like Avengers 57, $500 and a 9.8, that's what I want to pay, and this is $510, so I'm going to give it my blessing. With that said, remember, colors are everything when it comes to this book. White pages, beautiful pink, orange, that's what you want, or just get yourself a nice raw copy. Back-to-back weeks, this book is on this list. At number 5 this week is Ultimate Fallout 4 and the first appearance of Miles Morales, Spider-Man from an alternate reality. 8 copies beat the average this week with a high in a CGC 9.8, selling for under $1,000, $950, up 6% over the average. Currently, just over 130 copies in a 9.8 alone have sold in 2025, and it makes its 4th appearance on the list in 2025. Do I want to own this book? Yeah, 100%, and it's got to be in a 9.8, no question. I don't want to own a raw copy on this one. I don't even want to own one sealed in the poly bag. It's got to be a 9.8. Just get it for the best price you possibly can. But yes, I am a buyer of this one, but only for the long term. Finally, some DC on this list. At number 4 is House of Secrets number 92 and the first appearance of the original Swamp Thing, Alex Olsen. Only 5 sales broke the average this week with a high in a CGC 7.5, selling for $2,500 and up 17% over the average. Next up, a CGC 5.5 sale for $1,270, up 3% over the average. And lastly, a CGC 4.0 selling for $835 and flat against the average. I gotta say this, do I want to own this book? No question, but it has come really far over the past couple of years. So just mind what you're going to pay for this book. The higher the grade, the better, in my opinion, without breaking the bank. I want to own this book for the long term. Just be careful what you pay. At number 3 this week is another modern key. It is Invincible number 1 and the first appearance of Invincible. 5 copies beat the average this week with a high in a CGC 9.8, selling for an insane $4,900 and up 15% over the average. Next up, we had a CGC 9.6, selling for $9,628, up 16% over the average. Invincible number 1 makes an impressive 9th appearance on the Hot 10 list in 2025. I've said it over the past 6 months. This book has gotten way too hot. $5,000 for a 9.8, $2,700 for a 9.6. I'd rather take that money and get a better key. It's just my opinion. Right now, this book is too hot. At the 2 spot this week is Giant Size X-Men number 1 and the first appearance of the new X-Men team. 9 sales beat the average this week with a high in a CGC 9.4, selling for $5,760, up 2% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.0 sale for $3,960, up 2% over the average. And finally, a CGC 7.5 selling for $2,700 and up 13% over the average. This is the 14th week in 2025 that Giant Size X-Men number 1 has made the Hot 10 list. I say it all the time. Is now the right time to buy this book? I'm saying yes. If you're a long-term holder, I want to own the book. Get the best copy you possibly can and just sock it away. The one thing I always say about this book, the colors have to be absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't have to be super high grade if you can't afford it. Just make sure the colors are just right. And finally, at the top spot this week, making its triumphant return to the Hot 10, it is Amazing Spider-Man number 129 and the first appearance of Frank Castle and the Punisher. 10 copies broke the average this week with a high in a CGC 9.4, selling for $5,760, up 2% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.0 sale, selling for $3,960, up 2% over the average. And lastly, a CGC 7.5 selling for $2,700, up 13% over the average. This week marks the 29th time that ASM 129 has appeared on the Hot 10 list in 2025 and the 9th time at the top spot. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but the last 2 sales for Giant Size X-Men 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 129, they were the exact same thing. So I'm not sure if Key Collector screwed up or we just have an amazing coincidence. Regardless, you guys know I want to own this book, but it's got to be for the long term. One of my favorites out there. Just make sure you get the copy that you want to keep forever. Thank you guys for watching under the list. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm seeing a lot of the same stupid books appear every week, which I don't get excited about. A few new ones, but just remember, the bigger the key, the more I want to own in my collection. It is now time for my best buy of the week, and to me, this is a tough one. ASM 129 or Giant Size X-Men 1. I'm going Giant Size X-Men 1 only because it's harder to get in super high grade. Hope you guys enjoy the list. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, saying thank you for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll talk to you guys soon.